Put the microphone. Microphone's working.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. No. If you choose, we'll check the news. Everybody, welcome to the show. It's that time again. It's early in the morning, and we're just getting ourselves ready to do the show. It's Wednesday. It's the 22nd of February. Welcome, folks. Thanks for joining Life with me here today. It's Michael Superbacker in the house here. Glad you could join us. Welcome to the show, all amazing fans of Magic the Gathering who love the game as much as we do. Appreciate you for tuning in here this morning. We're going to have a bomb show for you folks today. It's going to be great. What's new and improved? Did you see the video yesterday? I made an interesting one. Would you rather one of every card on the reserve list or $130,000? Let me know in the comment section below. It's your host, Brody. We're here to do the show. We're going to warm up. We're ready to go. If you folks are new here to the show, are you tired of tracking the prices of Magic cards? Is there enough information out there, or is there just too much information sometimes? Information overload. Can you find what you need? Does it all make sense? Do formats change and cards get banned and things rotate and they go up and down and you don't understand why it happens sometimes? I'm checking the prices of these cards each and every day. Let me do it for you. I'm Brody. It's the morning show. I got myself a cup of coffee. Glad to be here with amazing fans of Magic the Gathering who love the game as much as we do. Michael Superbacker from Boston. Giving a shout out to Boston. I got to make my way out to Boston. I got to check out Fenway Park. You and me got to go to a game. It's got to happen. There's no way anything should stand in the way of that dream. Let's make it all possible here on the show. Thanks for joining, folks. I'm going to get the comment section rolling here this morning. And if you didn't know what we do here, we're going to take a look at the price of Hasbro stock and see how that's been changing, or maybe it's not changing at all. I don't really know. We'll have to check. But the other question is, what are these folks going to do now that they've leveraged themselves with a bunch of debt? Their cash on hand is dwindling. They've got gonna have to pay these loans off somehow. Well, printing cash. Now the show goes on the road. If you can understand that, then you can sort of understand why they're going to have to work really hard to release more products and increase the price of each and every one of them. It's a slippery slope that we're heading down, and they've definitely got the bandwagon started, getting people hyped over these new masterpiece treatments for some of the legendary creatures out there. I get it. I totally get it. Like when the masterpiece foils were introduced in Kaladesh, in fact, opening one or being with somebody who opened one at the pre-release, I can totally understand that, getting your hands on one of these amazing borders, amazing cards. Yeah, I can totally understand that it makes 100% sense. Who wouldn't want to get one now the price is so far out of reach? I don't even know. We should check the price of Sol Ring. I just want to know where all that stuff has gone. So if you missed out on that, why wouldn't you be excited about the latest ones? And that's the hype that we're talking about. Creating that interest for new players and new demographics, whether they be Lord of the Rings players, Warhammer's players, Disney players. Who knows? But that's what we get when we mash up sets together. These foil border treatments are really going to be something to keep an eye on. How you folks doing today? I got a question for you folks this morning. How many master sets will we see in 2023? Is it 1 to 2, 3 to 5, or more than 5? Let's go 1 to 2, 3 to 4, or more than 5. How many master sets will we see in 2023? We've already started off with the announcements of Commander Masters. I'm almost thinking we could see 3. I wouldn't be surprised if there was 3. I mean, it's February. Where does this Ruary come in? Anyway. Oh. But how many master sets are we going to see? I wouldn't be surprised if, like, we've already got one announced. It's February already, middle of the first quarter. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we got a second one announced halfway through the year. It's totally possible. But that's what I think. Leave me a comment in the comment section below. We're going to warm up here with a couple of AI generated magic cards. We're going to rate these cards, just give it a pass or fail. I don't know if we're rating them. We're just giving it a pass or fail. I know your time is important. And thank you for spending it with me. Thank you for dragging Brody along with you this morning. Wherever you got me, whether you got me in your pocket, whether you're got me in the car, is it snowy where you are? Dragging from the bumper on the coffee counter. Brody's with you this morning. I know your time is important, so let's not waste it. Let's get right into it here. We're going to take a look. I'll explain the rules for you one more time. If you're new here and just checking it out, we're going to look at some AI generated magic cards. If there's any gibberish on the card, we fail it instantly. It's gone. Get it out of here. We have no time for that gibbery jabbery. But if the card is somewhat playable, like if it sort of makes sense, even if it's overcosted, maybe sometimes they're the mana cost isn't so favorable, we'll give it a pass. Then we move on to the next. Yesterday we hit like 4 in a row that were playable. For nevertheless, let's do it. Checking out this very first card here, we have ourselves Nawalia Rider. Nawalia Rider. What are we going to do with this green 2/3 elemental? All right. Starting off to a good start. A 2/3 elemental, not bad stats. 1 green and 3. Enchant creature. Oh. It's an elemental enchantment. Brody's hovering his finger over top of the fail button as we speak. Like, I don't know if I can tolerate this very much longer. All right. Do your worst. Enchanted creature has no opponent. Memnarch, it said it will. That's hilarious. All right. Moving right along. There's no way we can accept that, but the art is interesting. What was it close to being a card? If it was an enchantment creature, maybe enchanted creature has no anything else. I don't know. What is this here? All right. Nerd artifact, a Selesnya artifact. What do we summon Treefolk? Legendary creature Treefolk. I still say that, hey? Summon this, summon Treefolk. Can't help it. Old habits die hard. Summon tree folk. Ah. Let's see. 1 white, 1 green, and 2, 3 for 3/3. Flying. 3/3 flying. It's a tree that flies. The nerd artifact. When nerd artifact dies, you gain life equal to the number of +1/+1 counters on nerd artifact. Hakelings. God, I can't stand those pesky hakelings. Whenever you cast an aura spell, create a 3/3 black assassin creature token with that many +1. We were doing so well yesterday. Yesterday was going good, but today not so much. I'm going to give this a double whammy, testing the buzzer, make sure that's working good. Give it a yes. Crunch it. All right, you're out of here. I did tweet this out to a couple of friends of mine yesterday. It was pretty funny. What do you folks think of this? The nerd artifact, it's so close to being a magic card, but it's not. And then this card comes back to the very first card we did yesterday. We looked at this one. I liked it. We passed it yesterday. Why can't we pass it again? It's colorless. It's 0. It's a snow enchantment. I think it's white, but it looks... No, it's colorless. It's definitely a colorless snow enchantment. Mill 3 cards. Scry 1 for 0. That doesn't seem too bad. Mill 3 cards, scry 1, no mana. I think it's hitting your own deck, so I think that's why we kind of let's give it another pass. Unless you guys can't stand this card, I think it's fine. Cool. Well, that was quick and easy. Oh my gosh, it's like we've done this before. We're getting a little better at it. Brody's just a total top-notch amateur. It's amateur hour. We're here. It's the stock show. We're doing a little bit of review. Let's take the check on the price of Hasbro stock. Where are we at now? Okay, so price of Hasbro stock is still trending east to west. It's sitting around that support level. Benson's in the house. We gotta get some chats going on here. Some chat-a-la-tat. We gotta get some fix this chat up. Need the chat. It's required. It makes the show better. Let's do it. I have a tough time with the parameters on this sucker, if you can tell. Nevertheless, this stock has been going east to west, and it's been doing it for a little while. And now we had the, so we're not wait. I've been used to saying it so many times. I'm tongue-tied. See this support level? This here, my friends, is what we call a support level. Back here in 2011, this would have been an upper support level. So, like, do you know why they call them stockbrokers? Good friend of my dad's always asked me that. Brody, do you know why they call them brokers? Why is that? Because they make you broker. And no matter how many times he told the joke, it was always funny. They use terms like upper support level and lower support level. It almost seems like you're doing some clothes shopping, but this is what would be called an upper support level. Like, it won't move up past that. It comes down back in 2011. And now sometimes if you look at stock charts, you kind of draw these comparisons to like past history. And like when past upper support level becomes like a newer lower support level, this is what we get. So right now this stock let's draw a line here. Okay, this would be now, this upper support level is now the same number that's the lower support level, and since it's been trending down, it's not willing to break through that price and go lower just yet. Usually it takes a significant action for something like this to have a breakout, and that's another stock term if you're new to trading jargon. A breakout is when a stock is in a particular pattern and it repeats it over and over again, and then all of a sudden it stops. It just breaks out. It's not like getting a zit and you're like, dang, on picture day, I can't stand that one right in the middle of my forehead. No, the breakout, different kind of breakout. We're talking about a reversal or a trend reversal. A breakout is when a stock would stop following a particular trend, and you can have a breakout either to the upside, and in this case it'd be very difficult to have it will continue to break to the downside, but you could have a breakout to the upside. Good morning, Twiddler. How's it going, brother? Twiddler's in the house. How was the show last night? I couldn't make it. I was end up watching a little bit of pre-dinner date and a little movie and a little bit of supper. Early night last night. I just going over a little bit of stock jargon with the folks here, going over some funny terminology, a breakout, trend reversal, lower support level, and upper support level. Do these seem like funny terms to you? They do. So right now we know that Hasbro as a whole company is diversifying itself, and like this is literally right now I think I'm gonna say they're in the car wash phase. This is like the car wash phase where they're out there, they're like, okay, let's go. Get on your Mark Rosewater, everybody else, Gavin Berry, and all these people who are working over at Woz, Aaron Forsyth, get on social media, put on your bikinis, and start just championing this new stuff that we're going to be cramming down everybody's throats. Paper magic has happened again. We just released all the restrictions, and like people are going to start going to events, and we need to hype this next round of product that's coming up because the creditors are going to be at the door any minute now. So this is sort of where we find this whole no look back strategy. Just keep piling forward, never admit you're wrong, and don't acknowledge any of the repeats of don't acknowledge any of the repeat behavior that we've sort of seen pattern out in the last little bit. In fact, we're going to keep patterning it a little bit more, and we're going to release a couple of new products that are shiny to grab everybody's attention. And then in this economy, the money is just flying. You like this is what part that just blows my mind is that the amount of money that's being printed from the Fed and around the world to fund other types of operations is insane. There's a ton of money, and I don't understand how. So what that's going to do is the more money that gets printed out there, it sort of sticks us with inflation for one. Everything on the shelf goes up, but it devalues the money that people already have. So why is this Hasbro stock? Why are Magic cards like the cards on the reserve list going down in price? They're not moving up at all. I mean, they're not making any more of them. I believe Hasbro will drop more. Gaming Bob says, "Is that Gaming Bob?" It is. It's MTG Gaming Bob. Morning, Bob. Thanks for joining here this morning. Appreciate you for joining us here this morning. It's great to have you with us. We're reading a couple of AI generated magic cards here this morning. I'm going to check the stock desk to see if we have any articles for you folks. And of course we do. We've got something just for you, Bob. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that comment question there. I'm just wondering, how many master sets do you think we're going to have this year? Or maybe leave me a comment. What will they be? Are we going to have like we've got commander masters. What other masters are we going to have? I want to know. MTG is burning through its built up equities too fast. So somebody made a comment yesterday with Bob says the past year and with all the amazing sets we are seeing will make buyers numb to it. I believe MTG players and investors will pull back even more next year. Things won't feel amazingly special in a year. You know what'll feel amazingly special? The loan payments that they're going to have to come up with. And the hard thing is, like, they're sitting on all this IP and they've got this amazing product line, so they say, and that is like the sword they're willing to wield into 2023 with no F's given, with no looking back, and like we're going to champion this new Ragavan and these serialized promos at every event we go to. And don't get me wrong, I am happy to see the return of the Pro Tour. I am stoked to see the return of the Pro Tour, but like if you watch cycles in markets, it seems oddly convenient that if uh if they haven't if they're let me just I got to be careful how I say this, but it seems oddly convenient that with the ability to fire paper magic events uh sort of just coming back, that the announcement of the Pro Tour sort of goes hand in hand with that, right? So we didn't have paper magic for a while, then now we do, and then instantly, okay, we're going back to the Pro Tour. We want to get the attention on people. Now, here's an interesting, and I'm going to make a video about this because this is an interesting point. I strongly believe that, and I had a conversation with Mrs. Alfonso, and she's the one who actually mentioned this to me. She's like, Brody, I think the digital gaming and the digital space is more important than paper magic because paper magic, you have to ship it. It has a weight to it. It it has product wrappers. There's an environmental element to it, and the speed at which games are conducted. So you can hit the shuffler in arena and shuffle up a deck and sit down with an opponent. It'll shuffle up your deck in a matter of seconds. There's no dealing, there's no problems with cutting, even though we think the shuffler is broken sometimes. But the amount of games that you can jam, say, how long could it take you to jam 10 games on Arena versus 10 paper games? So what I think we're seeing is like this push into the digital space for the last couple of years where everything's so focused on arena, and the reason that they have more sets coming out is because the people who are playing on arena are burning through that card equity on arena and becoming fed up with it really fast, because you can play more games in a 1 hour sitting in arena. Like, it's a whole lot different if you sit down to play a game of Magic for an hour. They're like, okay, Jimmy, Michael Superbacker, Gaming Bob, let's sit down and play a 1 hour game of Commander. Okay, you'd be sometimes hard pressed to get one game, but how many games can you jam in arena in an hour? You can probably go through, depending on what format it is, some quick games you can probably, and look, oh, I want to retool my deck. All my cards are already sorted. Oh, I've got 4 of this, 4 of that, and everything is automatically sorted. So the stimulus that goes with that fast gameplay becomes more like a one-armed bandit than a strategical game, because the players opening packs on arena, once they play an hour or two with a new set, they're already looking for something new, and arena gives Wizards of the Coast the access to that neurocompulsive sort of a tendency that we get into arena, and you look, next thing you know, you're like, holy smokes, it's been 4 hours. So that's a theory why digital magic is been pushed so much, because they need to release these products and more of them, because the amount of gameplay that happens on arena is, compared to paper magic, it's just exponential. I've got an article for you folks here this morning. Hidden gems for Exia all will be $1.99. I'm coming out of the booth. Brody's coming out of the booth for this article, folks. You can't stop me. I'm coming out of the booth. Toll Booth Brody here. In this series, a new series, Adam Berg over at the stock desk is going to scour Phyrexia for hidden gems that could have an impact in Commander when March of the Machine releases this spring. Interesting thing to sing about this morning. So who is this fellow, Adam Berg? I never heard of him. Well, he's introduced himself as a 20-year veteran in Magic and a professional background in sketch comedy. Good. This better be entertaining, Adam Berg. We're going to have to give you a shout out at the very end. In high school, he traded a single donut for a Yawgmoth will and have been chasing that high ever since. Today, I'll be making wild prophecies about the upcoming set, March of the Machines. Elishnorn is your mom now, and she's a single mom who works too hard, loves her kids, and never stops trying to take over the multiverse. Well, Adam, we already did a video on that. My mom is mother of machine, or mother of ruins. So let's not get on to mama jokes here this morning, shall we? Stronghold Assassin. All right. 7th edition. 5 commander decks will be released in March of the Machines. Mom. Okay. While little is known about them, it seems a safe bet that in a set about Phyrexia versus everyone else, one or more of these decks will focus on Phyrexians. Back during the release of Kaldheim, Wizards finally added Phyrexian as a creature type. So Phyrexian was not a creature type until the release of Kaldheim. What about Jin-Gitaxias? But we've yet to receive any tribal support for it. If Mother of Machines is the last we see of the Phyrexians for a while, it would make sense that Wizards saved all the tribal support for that set. Stronghold Assassin, it's a 99-cent rare. 94-cent rare. It says tap sack a creature, destroy target non-black creature. Pick up this little removal engine and other old cards that gained a subtype from errata. Assuming they dodge a reprint, demand for them could shoot up. Stronghold Assassin. Well, Stronghold Assassin, we think it's worth a pickup at 94 cents. And this card, Phyrexian Infiltrator from Invasion. You know, Invasion has some interesting cards on it, and I do like the borders on the artifacts in Invasion. This card is Minion. Interesting. This tricky little man covers Commander Politics. It's a Phyrexian Infiltrator. It's 2/2 for 1 black and 2. And you can pay 2 blue and 2 into it. Exchange control of Phyrexian Infiltrator and target creature. Interesting. So this could be I would play this card. I think I'm grabbing the pen and paper. So Brody's prepared here on to do the show because when you folks give me comments, and I love to watch the comments, sometimes I gotta write them down because they're darn good. So let's see here. We get this Phyrexian Infiltrator, good card. Pick up stuff, especially from 7th edition. You figure? Benson says it's definitely good to pick up stuff from 7th edition. Looks like an alpha to me. So let's check this out. Twiddler's in the house. Benson's in the house. Michael Superbacker, Gaming Bob. I got to write this down. This is a good card. And I never picked up any of the invasion stuff, so we're going to go Phyrexian Infiltrator. It's not only here to bring this show to you folks, and I do want to get some of the fun into my collection as well. So this tricky little man covers Commander Politics. Leave mana open to ward off attacks or disincentivize opponents from casting their best creatures. You can pull even some tricky little stints with this at instant speed, and don't even have to give up the Infiltrator. Really? I'll let the Gatherer explain. If you control this card and another creature, you can use this card's ability and target the creature you control. You can then use this card's ability again and target a creature your opponent controls. The second usage resolves first, and you get your opponent's creature in exchange for this one. The first usage then resolves and swaps your other creature for the Infiltrator so you get it back. The net effect is that you can swap any creatures you have for any of theirs. if you can pay this ability twice. Note that your opponent does get the chance to use the Infiltrator if they have the mana in between your two usages and can mess you up. Unlike Erevis Totem, if you use this trick on an opponent without blue mana, they'll need removal to disrupt you. Okay, so Erevis Totem is a 1 mana artifact that you pay 5 and to exchange control of the totem and target non-land permanent. So you can activate this ability, and while that ability's on the stack, you can activate it again, taking your opponent's thing. This is awesome. I love it. I gotta get myself a Phyrexian Infiltrator. It's Dimir. It's in colors that I'm already playing. It's only 45 cents. Seems like a fine card. But let me know what you guys think. Do you like this card? I can't help but think it's worth $1. I'm gonna pick it up. I got it on the list here. Which brings us to the next little bit of tech here. Phyrexian token generators. All right, happy to see some of these, including the Blade Splicer. And I like the Golem artifact creature type. I'm gonna have a little sip of coffee with you folks here this morning. It's gonna be delicious. Second sip here. Just getting into my second sip. Let's take a look at the Blade Splicer, Bruticlad Telcor Engineer. That's a mouthful. And Chancellor the Forge. Okay, so Blade Splicer, Bruticlad Telcor Engineer, Chancellor the Forge, Azuri's Predation, Phyrexian Swarm Lord. All, and I like the Blade Slicer for the Golem tokens. If March of Machines features any cards that care about having a lot of Phyrexian creatures entering the battlefield, cards that make multiple will gain more value. There are only a handful, and most are pretty cheap, at least for now. Azuri's Predation. So let's read these cards one at a time because some of them I'm familiar with and some of them we may not be familiar with. So the Blade Splicer is a 1/1 white creature. It's a human artificer, and this is one I'm familiar with because it works with golems. When it enters the battlefield, put a 3/3 golem creature token onto the battlefield. Golem creatures you control have first strike. So there's another artifact in the Brothers War. I think when it comes into play, it creates 2 golems. The Blade Splicer will give those first strike, and it will also create a golem of itself. If you can blink it, it's an all right blink target. It's not like the best, but it is a blink target nonetheless. Bruticlad Telcor Engineer. It's this Is It 6 mana legendary creature artificer from Dubla Masters. A 4/4 creature tokens you control have haste at the beginning of combat on your turn. Create a 2/1 blue mirror artifact creature token. Then you may choose a token you control. If you do, each other token you control becomes a copy of that token. So then this guy, the Bruticlad, can just make mirrors and then make your mirrors copy something else. Just, it's disgusting. And it's giving mirror cards, and this is probably another reason why that Darksteel Forge keeps going up in value. Maybe we don't want to trade any of our Darksteel Forges because all these little artifact tokens are going to be desirable. So if you're making artifact tokens, this can definitely get out of hand. Chancellor of the Forge, the giant 5/5, 7 mana, 3 red and 4. You may reveal this card from opening hand. Ooh, I love cards that make you reveal from their opening hand. This is cool and it'll be good. It's from Phyrexia. You may reveal this card from your opening hand. I guess this is the red Chancellor. If you do, at the beginning of the first upkeep, put a 1/1 red goblin creature token with haste onto the battlefield. When Chancellor of the Forge enters the battlefield, put X/1/1 red goblin creature tokens with haste onto the battlefield, where X is the number of creatures you control. So he gives you a 1/1 if you show him off at the beginning of the game. Turn 0, reveal this boy, get a 1/1, and then you cast him or put him in the battlefield. You get as many 1/1 goblins as you have creatures. I kind of like this card too. I want to play it in double attack step deck. Chancellor of the Ford. And I think Blade Splicer was even reprinted in Double Masters, so we might be able to find a cheap copy of that. I'm going to write down the Chancellor of the Forge because I think that's kind of neat. It does look to me like the monster off of Tremors. Does this look like the monster off of Tremors? Do you remember that snaky looking thing? And like it had a funny head on it. Does anybody remember that movie, Tremors? It totally looks like the dude off the monster off Tremors. There's chancellors for each color now, by the way. Yes. I would bet on it. The only one I really am familiar too much with is the Chancellor of the Annex, because that's like the best one. But this guy's the other Chancellor. For red. Red Chancellor, right? Benson? And I wouldn't be surprised you could name them all. In fact, I'd be surprised if you didn't. If March of the Machine features any cards that care about having a lot of Phyrexian creatures, or Phyrexian creatures entering the battlefield, cards that can make multiple will gain more value. There are only a handful of, most are pretty cheap, at least for now. Urzuri's Predation. 8 mana for this sorcery. That's an expensive cast. For each creature your opponents control, you get a 4/4 green Phyrexian Beast. Each of those tokens fights a different one of those creatures. Wow. Okay, so you just make beasts equal to the number of creatures your opponents control. So that counts all creatures? Wow, that's a decent card. If you're running Craterhoof and a green build, very scary. This is insane. Azuri's Predation. This is like some malicious intent here on these list of cards here. This is good stuff. Write these down. I got the pen handy. I'm writing these down. I'm sorry. I got to get some. They're a couple of dollars. Right? These are cheap right now. I like the speculation. I'm more apt to pay 50 cents for some, some bulk rares that might go good in the newest set than I am to buy the new set and then trade into the new set, right? Let's get that fun in our collection here before things get carried away. And that's how you do it with Magic the Gathering. Why are you buying in the newest card? Buy the card that works with the newest card and then trade that card for the new card, right? Phyrexian Swarmlord. Anger is in the house. How you doing, Anger? Good morning. Hope you're not angry with me this morning. Thanks for joining us here this morning, Anger. I hope you're having a great day. We're just talking a little bit of tech on cards that could go up with the printing of the March of the Machines. Anything that makes tokens, including the Blade Splicer, Brudiclad, sounds Jamaican, Brudiclad, the Telcor Engineer, Chancellor of the Forge, Azuri's Predation, and then Phyrexian Swarmlord. This one's 6 mana. It's a 4/4. It's got Infect. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 green Phyrexian insect token with Infect for each poison counter your opponents have. So this is the Swarmlord. I got to check out the price on the Swarmlord. Phyrexians. If Wizards prints any commander and try to unify the Phyrexians of the game's history, we can try to identify overarching themes. Paying life, sacrificing creatures, and poison counters all stand out. Cards that play into those strategies may see an increase in demand, but only time will tell. Adam Berg started playing Magic on his 14th birthday when Judgment was released and the game's first Gorgon was born. Since then, he's delved deep into Commander, written for television, film, and learned how to drive. Publishes 2 YA fantasy novels, Rainbringer and Broken Pantheon. His favorite card is Repay in Kind, which is really all you need to know. Well, thanks, Adam. Another amazing article from the stock desk. The guy's a little bit funny. He's slightly funny. He's a little bit funny. I want to see the card prices here. Blade Spicer, it costs you $1. Chancellor of the Forge, $2.50. Brudiclad Telcor Engineer, $1.29. Azuri's Predation, $1.29. And Phyrexian Swarlord, $2.99. You can get them all for $6.58. Get them all for under $10. Why not? Seems like decent pickups. I don't know why you wouldn't. Seems like a good speculation that maybe, oh, just maybe, some of those synergistic cards will be meaningful with the March of the Machines because we're going to keep marching forward, right? So as people are looking forward, this is a distraction technique that's in front of us. This whole distraction technique, it's like, keep looking forward. Look at the Ragavan. Look at the new Ragavan. Look at the new serialized cards. But there's other cards over here, Brody. Like, you know, they're reserve lists and they don't make them anymore. And they seem like they would be good against that stuff. Don't look at leeches. You don't need to look at that. So, you know, everything that's shiny and new is designed to keep you looking forward, marching ahead, and hyped about what is coming. Except for the fact that we know better, and it's worth looking back at past sets in Magic the Gathering to make sure we're not missing out on anything. And you know what that time it is. I need to just turn the tunes up for just a second, folks. How you doing? It's time. You know what time it is. It's time for the movers and the shakers. I'm going to check the comments here for you folks here this morning. I got to make sure everything's working good in the chat here this morning. The sun is on. Morning sunshine. We're getting the movers and the shakers ready to go. It's a good time. Where are we going to run? What are we going to look at this morning? We got choices. We got modern, standard, pioneer, pauper, legacy, vintage. It's Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. I need a little help from you folks. What are we going to look at here this morning on the movers and the shakers list? MTG Gaming Bob, what do you want to look? What do we want to look at here this morning? I know, don't say Commander. Moving. Tom Mitchell's in the house. There we go. Now we can start the show. Tom, what are we looking at here this morning? Let us know in the comment section. Standard, modern, pioneer, vintage, legacy. Maybe you and Gaming Bob can come to a consensus on that one. What are we gonna do, Tom? Glad to have you here. A little cup of coffee. We're getting ready to move and shake here this morning. Wouldn't be a show without you, folks. Amazing fans of Magic the Gathering who love the game as much as I do. It's steak and pajamas day. Middle of the weekday. It's hump day. What are you guys up to this morning? Leave me a comment in the comment section below. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for joining Life with me each and every morning to check the prices of these Magic cards. All are welcome here. It's gonna be good. Can't wait. I gotta refresh my cafe while we wait for modern. Sounds good to me, Tom. Let's do it. I love it. Tom Mitchell, the man with the finger on the pulse. Every day with the movers and the shakers. We can't stay away. Let's build ourselves another coffee. Let's hit the modern list. We missed Monday. It was a holiday here. Waffles and coffee. Nice. Oh, can I come over, Benson? Can I come over for brekkie, please? New York City, right? New York City? Where's the best place to get a waffle in New York City? I need to know. Where's the best place to get a waffle in Boston? I need to know. Let's run the modern list here this morning, folks. Thanks, Tom. Brody Clad. You bet, Coach. Brody Clad. That's right. I like it. As you got that. You picked up on it. You did. Sure, got 2 spare rooms. Let's do it. Right? I gotta get me some waffles. That sounds delicious. Skithrix at the top of the list again this morning. That silly, pesky Dragonite. He's dragging us through the mud, right? Is anybody buying this? I hope you're trading this in, right? Don't fall for the hype. Check leeches. Okay, before we do this, we're going to check the price of leeches. Twiddler's sitting on a pile of copies. $24.82 for the leeches. Has anyone included? See? Look at this. Now decks are using it. Look at this. This is it. This used to be no decks found. I'll tell you that right now. Now it's Atraxa runs it. Carametta runs it. Rocco Cabaretti Cartier runs it. And Elishnorn and Mother of the Machines now all runs it. So I'm happy for Twiddler. Good for you, buddy. I love it. And that's why we do the show. Because we want the fun into your collection. I'd rather be shuffling a copy of leeches than looking for it at the store. I'll tell you that much. And that goes for anything on the bottom 10. Can't feel bad for anyone who didn't get a copy. Right at the top of the list, see Skithrix, the Blight Dragon, up 9%. And that blasted Sun Cleanser just doesn't do the same job as the leeches do. Solemnity, not so bad. That's Brody's second pick. But this Skithrix, the Blight Dragon, is the infecting. What rhymes with that? Let's keep it PG. Flying Infect 4/4 for this 3 colorless and 2 black dragon skeleton. I wonder if the skeleton, the skeleton creature type is definitely relevant. You get dragon creature type and skeleton creature type, so if you can lord this for skeletons, I think there's a lord for skeletons. Benson, is there any skeleton lords? Do you know? All skeletons get +1/+1? It's quite possible. Nevertheless, Skithris is played, of course, in Atraxa. I hope you're trading this. It's going to see a reprint. It's from Scars of Mirrodin. It's been printed in double masters. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it in the next masters set. That wasn't a commander set. It looks like everybody's saying that we're going to probably get 1 to 2 masters sets. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, 2, eh? I'm going to go out on a limb and just get greedy and say 3. I'm going to be the one who just messes this all. Everybody says 1. 100% of folks say we're going to get 1 to 2 master sets. I'm almost thinking they're going to get greedy and go with 3. I do. But, and it wouldn't be unreasonable because you got the Commander Masters, which is its own set, right? And I mean remastered counts, right? We're going to be like, does remastered counts? I think, or doesn't it? Remastered. I don't know. Yeah, I think anything remastered. So if we get Commander Mastered and something else remastered, that's 2 mastered sets. So then all we need is like triple masters, and that's 3. Like I mean, it's only February. So this little Skithrix dragon, top of the pile again today. Look at this chart on this. Look at the head on this boy here. It's moving up, still moving up. Oh my goodness. It's expensive. It's expensive, Benson. Expensive. $46. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. See, you could have traded 2 copies of leeches for this. That's what is it? Brody, you're crazy. Get out of here. Okay, number 2 on the modern list. Are you guys playing this in modern? Anybody? Decks using it? All commander lists. It's not even a modern card. Let's try and find something modern. Elish Norn Grand Cenobite from Modern Masters 2015. Now, the new Phyrexia one's $82. This is very close to the cheapest copy, which is the Secret Lair version, around 40. So this card's still trending up in price. And like, it's funny how like a reprint is pushing the cost of the original, one of the originals. Let's take a look at the Phyrexian one, the original one. I want to see where that one's sitting in comparison because it's the original art, right? Well, that is the cheapest, new Phyrexia. So it is pushing that one down, but it's pushing the Masters 15 copy up, funny enough. Decks using this, yes, of course, it is a commander, Atraxa. Everybody's all in the Atraxa phase, right? Just wait until some new tech comes out, like destroy all tokens. Like, there's like, it's coming. It's coming. Atraxa Praetor's voice, all Atla, Palani Nest tending to the nest, Lisa, Shroud of Dusk, Mondrak, Glorious Dominus. I gotta look at this, a mono white commander. Mondrak, who art you, Mondrak? Let's look at our friend Mondrak here this morning. Four Phyrexian Horror. One or more tokens will be created under your control. Twice that many of those tokens are created instead. Sack 2 other artifacts and or creatures. Put an indestructible counter on Mondrak. Wow, $36 for the Mondrak. I'm surprised we don't see this on the standard list. Mondrak's a beast. It's a doubling season, right, on a creature. And then this card that seems to be making its way on the list each week now, 2 weeks in a row, Inexorable Tide. Interesting. What does it do? Whenever you cast a spell, proliferate. Oh, God. we're just going to be proliferating and making tokens for the next little while. It's going to be clunky. You're going to have to bring a bag of chips everywhere so that you can put tokens on your magic cards. Dice work well. This thing proliferates each and every time you cast a spell. Seems reasonable to believe that this is at least $15. When was the last printing of it? Okay, so the Scars of Mirrodin, cheapest one is $15. Modern Masters 15. This hasn't seen a reprint in a while, 7 or 8 years. Wow. And it's $15. Vendor shop sold out. Everybody wants this card. Too late, can't get it. But if you're sitting on it, it's good trade value right now. Oboro, the Palace of the Clouds. I'm really interested to see this one. I used to play this legendary land. Used to play it in Modern quite regularly. There's a card for Modern. Finally, something for Modern. Mill is playing it, and Merfolk is playing it. Okay, so Saviors of Kamigawa, the Oboro. The foil, like, I'm looking back to this, and, like, I have it. But, like, I should have bought the foil. This is like another Gemstone Caverns all over again. Sometimes just buy the foil and when it's a land, eh? Was $100 not too long ago. It's $350 now. It's a legendary land. You can pay 1 to return it to its owner's hand. So why is this card good? Because you can play a Mutavault, and then later on, if you have Oboro, you can drop the Oboro. It doesn't enter tap it for a blue, tap the Mutavault, return it to your hand, play it again. If you haven't made your land drop, and get double blue. So it really helps you fix mana with double blue. And it's also hard to blow up. If people want to target it, you put it back in your hand. If you're leaving one up, it protects itself quite nicely. And that's why it's worth the premium, the foil premium version. It makes sense that it's in Merfolk. Mill, I'm not so sure. Because landfall, right? With the Hedron Crab and the Ruinous Crab. So you can guarantee to make your land drops with this card. The more the landfall trigger becomes a thing, the more and more irrelevant that this card is going to be. They even throw a copy of the Jace in there for the mill deck. Oboro Palace of the Clouds, very good card. Nice. Very good card. Hence, the foil multiplier on this is 7. It's 7 times the amount. It's $50 for a non-foil, $350 for the foil. Wow. It's quite a foil multiplier if I ever seen one. Whoa, put that away. Don't be showing off that foil multiplier around here. Not with everybody watching. All right. Let's keep going. We got to run this movers and shakers list. I need a little something just to groove to here this morning with all you folks. Today, hopefully we got a few more modern cards, and we do. Cavern of Souls. I watched Twiddler open one of these beauties just a couple of weeks ago. A card that's seen plenty of reprints, and I'm glad it has because I need it. Got one copy myself. It saw reprinting in Double Masters at $70. Ouch. An expensive card, a good one to open. I think the cheapest one is from the list, $60. It's good in any tribal. And this is why. It's great in Modern too. You're probably going to see Modern. Yeah, Amulet Titan uses it in Modern. Naming Giants, Merfolk uses it. Vintage uses it in Initiative. What creature are we looking at name in Initiative? Humans. Yes. Or clerics. Humans. Probably humans. So this card commands a whopping $61. The foil treatment is even more, over 100. The original from Avacyn. Let's do it. $60. A little bit darker. So this is a great card. It enters the battlefield. You choose a creature type. You can tap it for color or 1 mana of any color that can be spent to cast creature spells of the chosen type, and those spells can't be countered. It goes in any deck. I would recommend trying. If you open one of these, keep it. It's good. You need at least one of these. I wouldn't trade it away too fast. It's a land. It's not that exciting, but it's super useful. Next level tech. Cavern of Souls, decent card. Happy to see it on the list this morning, and Merfolk's playing it too. So you name Merfolk, you can't counter your Merfolk. In the blue matchup, this is an essential to have. You can even run it in the main deck. I want to see where Giants running it. Amulet Titan, naming Giants. I'm pretty sure it's running it. Is it running it in the side or is it running it in the main? Lands. Cavernous Souls, 3 in the main board. It's good enough to run 3 of. So keep it. What else we got here this morning? Contagion Engine. A card I keep seeing again and again. This is from Scars. 21 bucks. It's still moving up, is it? Yes, it is. Look at the U-shaped graph here. The U-shaped graph. I always like to see this. Contagion Engine. This one here, it proliferates. The proliferation station. We've said it before. We'll say it again. This, the proliferation station. 6. When it enters the battlefield, you put a -1/-1 counter on each creature target player controls. You can pay for, tap it, and proliferate, and then do it again. So you double proliferate. This is sick. Death Priests of Miracle, Death Baron are skeleton lords. Okay. Let me check that out. Death Priest of Miracle. Death Baron. The Death Baron? Skeleton Lords. There we go. That's the one I'm thinking about. Yes, I even have this one. I forgot what the name was, so thank you very much. I can't always remember all the cards, but that's why I knew there was a Skeleton Lord. Skeletons, creatures you control, and other zombie creatures you control have 1/1 and Death Touch. So yes, this guy is definitely an include in the zombie deck. But like if you want to include Skithrix, like he's a Skeleton Lord. So Skithrix, the Blight Dragon, he's a dragon and a skeleton. So he'll get the Death Touch. He'll also get the 1/1 counter or the 1/1 buff. And then he'll also get like, I need a commander deck with Cowboy Hat Altereds. Yes, I do. I have to make the whole. Now I do. Yes, I do. Skithrix is Phyrexian Dragon Skeleton. Yes, he is. All 3. So we can triple lord him. He's been errated to be Phyrexian as well, eh? Hey, the triple creature type. Yes, Phyrexian Dragon Skeleton. So he's Phyrexian, he's Dragon, and Skeleton. Triple creature type. He's also Changeling. Who am I going to run for my commander, Brody? Are we running Mountain Titan? What's our commander? Marronar. This is the rat. This thing I think was this a promo? No, it was the Rat King that's a promo. But this is a 5-mana legendary rat rogue. It's all rats have fear. This gives all rats fear, including your opponent's rat. And fear, and it's funny, a fear mechanic. I love fear because it's like cannot be blocked except by black or artifact creatures. And a mechanic that like they went away with. It was like the most simple mechanic in Magic the Gathering from the early days, and I love to see it reprinted on creatures. All rats have fear, can't be blocked by black creatures or artifact creatures. Twiddler, you're in at 950 on the leeches. I thought it was lower than that. You're still doubled up. That's good though. Waffle House is where to get it. Loved it when Trevor went to Waffle House after the game weeks back. Waffle House? Oh man, let me hit up some Waffle House. Now you're getting me hungry. I hope you all have breakfast. All rats have fear. The Marronar, interesting card. And then this card here, a card that I am super fond of. Okay, I when I was cracking back into Magic and just starting to play into Modern for the first time, I found this card really interesting. 1,000-Year Elixir, because it's colorless and it says you may activate abilities of creatures you control as though they have haste. So this colorless artifact from Lauren gives all your creatures haste. So you can tap them the turn they come into play. So all your mana dorks are turned on the turn they come into play. It's only you. It's 3 mana. It's not your opponents. And you can pay 1 to untap a creature. It's really good. I want to know where they running it. Krenko Mob Boss, of course, to make those tokens. So any token deck that has a Krenko's tapping to make X 1/1 goblins, of course, right? Put X 1/1 goblin creatures where X is the number of goblins you control. So we're tapping Krenko first turn and then untapping him and doing it again. Oscar the Reconstructor. This bottle is really good. What's Oscar do? Tap, exile an artifact, mana value X for X from a graveyard. Create 2 tokens that are copies of the exile card. Oscar the Reconstructor. Tap, sack an artifact. Oh no, just 1 and sack an artifact. He's a 4/4 with vigilance. Target creature gets 2/0. So you can take stuff. This is really good. So the 1,000-year elixir, $12. Seems good. Take a shot of this. Feel better in minutes. It'll cure. Do you have dry eyes, nausea, vomit, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea, headaches, burning eyes, hair loss, excessive hair growth, wheezing, coughing, sneezing, carpal tunnel, chewing jaw? This will fix it. The 1,000-year elixir. 1 sip will do ya. That's all you need. It's really quite sweet. $12.50. Get yourself a jar of this 1,000-year elixir. Not a bad card. I think I have one. It's useful. Paradoxically, to tilt the massive jug for a sip, you'd need the energy of the giant's tonic. Crazy. Paradoxically, to tilt the massive jug for a sip, you'd need the energy of the giant's tonic. So this is like this 1,000-year elixir is like the lore in it. It's so explaining, like I'm learning something too a little bit more. So we have like this giant jar of stuff, and it looks like there's some mushrooms growing and like a few other jars for sort of size context. It's growing cobwebs, and in order to get this jug up to take a sip, you need the energy from the jug, the product that's in the jug itself. Isn't that perplexing? Morning, Prime 406. Thanks for joining, buddy. Hey, how you doing, Prime? How you doing? Nice to have you here. You got any streams planned for us today? What are you up to? It's Wednesday. We're just running the movers and the shakers. Les Brody's on his second sip of coffee here this morning. I'm doing all right. It's middle of the week. We're getting ready to get on with our day. It's just about half past the hour. I appreciate you guys stopping in. I got a couple more cards to run here before we head out. But thank you. I really appreciate you checking out the program here today. We make it for you, the patrons and the free trends, and any of the fans who want to tune in. I'm doing this. Do you like checking the prices of Magic cards? Is it boring? Let me do it for you. I'm here every morning anyway, checking the prices. Hand of the Praetors. We've got a couple of cards on the Shakers list here this morning in the modern section to take a look at. These are things that are moving more than just a couple of percent. This guy, Hand of the Praetors, up 10 points. Another Infect zombie. This creature deals damage in the form of -1/-1 counters to creatures, and to players it gives poison. Other creatures you control with Infect gets +1/+1. Whenever you cast a creature spell with Infect, target player gets a poison counter. Oh my god, this is disgusting. We got the Prime Tortoise later today. Prime Tortoise is happening today. Okay, well, put that link in the comment section below for everybody to check it out. I really got to make it over there. I'm going to be really busy today. Today's a crazy day. It's a crazy day. The Phyrexians are everywhere. I got a lot of work to do. I got to clean up the Phyrexian oil they get everywhere. It's terrible. Hand of the Praetors. It's a zombie too. I don't know if we're mixing zombie infect, but this bird-looking dude, freaky as anything else. Kind of a funny-looking head on him. Reminds me of the Dark Crystal. Do you ever guys watch that movie, The Dark Crystal? This looks like those characters off the Dark Crystal, for sure. When they're drinking the essence from the little guys. Oh my god, I don't like this guy. Right? Does anybody remember that show? The Dark Crystal? Pretty epic one. They made a new remake of it, series continuation. It was pretty good. But this card is $10. Decks using it, Atraxa, of course, Ixel, Scion of Atraxa, Skithrix, the Blight Dragon. So whenever you cast a spell, target player gets a poison counter. That seems disgusting. Seems like an alternate win condition, right?
Other creature with infect at 1/1. Whenever you cast a creature with infect, target player gets a poison counter. So in infect tribal, this is a must include. It's from Scars of Mirrodin. I want to see, like, since it's a card that, yeah, nobody really saw this coming. It was not on my radar, I'll tell you that. I didn't play in Scars of Mirrodin, so it's kind of something that I would miss very easily. Halflings. You think okay, okay. What about dwarves? Dwarves, halflings? Okay, I can play some halflings. What about hakelings? Huh? Like on the nerd card we saw today. And last but not least, the card on the list from Zendikar. I like this card. It's always got value, Amulet of Vigor. I wonder when we're going to see it reprinted. I think I'm packing one foil copy. World Wake, rather. Sorry. My mistake. My mistake for the Wake of the World Wake. This thing here, it's $45 for the foil from World Wake. It's played in Modern. It's good money if you're planning to trade. Amulet Titan uses it, and we know that. I want to just look at the latest version of Amulet Titan because they're using for lands. I want to look at the lands. So what are we untapping with this? So the amulet says whenever a permanent enters the battlefield under your control, tapped, untap it. The Boros Garrison taps for 2, so you get to untap that and make 2. Beside you, no, we're the Gruul Turf. So it's the Garrison, the Gruul Turf, and the Selesnya Sanctuary. And then I don't see Sunhome Fortress and the one that gives double strike. Slayer Stronghold. There it is. Slayer Stronghold 2-0 and Vigilance and Haste. And then the Sunhome Forest, this is the one that gives it double strike. So you can literally end the opponent right away with this. Murray's here. Murray, how you doing, buddy? Are you still in Duke? Are you on your way home? Or is there magic cards this weekend with you? Let me know. Ogra. Who's Ogra? I gotta check Ogra now. Hey Murray, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're having a safe trip out there. How did your exam go? I know you passed. I know you did. Are you a certified pilot now? Ah. Who am I looking up? Ogra? Ogra. Coach says I need to build a commander deck with Ogra. Oop. Or ogres. Should I use Ogre Tribal or Ogra? Is that a card? I don't know. We're looking at Amulet Titan here this morning. Packing for home now. Cool. The Skeksis. I'm not sure what you mean there. Skeksis. Ah, Skeksis. No idea. Drone pilot. Certified pilot. Nice. So the amulet is good. Now, let's see. We have a World Wake as the original printing. Ah, so they did make a secret layer of this already. When a permanent enters tapped, you untap it. Angels guide me while I wake, and I will watch for evil's creep. Angels guard me while I dream, and I will rest in peaceful sleep. That's what's inscribed on the amulet. Interesting. We know a little bit more about the amulet. So they did a secret layer, airdrop, drop series, mystery booster, and other than that, yeah, just another way to reprint this sucker. It's got good equity to it. Amulet Titan's the mainstay deck in Modern that's using it. I want to know what they're using in Commander. What are we untapping? Nine Fingers Keen. Who's got 9 fingers? Ugh. Poor 9 fingers. Podlings from the Dark Crystals. Yes, that's what they look like, hey? Ah, Skeksis. Ah, for the Dark Crystal. Yes. 9 fingers. Let's see. Holding the sword. Menace. Ward. Pay 9 life. Wow. Okay. Whenever 9 fingers deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 9 cards of your library. You may put a gate counter from them a gate card from among them onto the battlefield. When you control 9 or more gates, put the rest into your hand. Otherwise, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. 9 Figures Keen is the gates commander. Interesting. It's called 9. I did not know this. And that's playing it. We're untapping the gates so that we can... The gates all enter tapped? Is that why? All the gates enter tapped? Gate of... Where's all the gates? All the gates enter tapped. Oh no. Tap and untap gate control. Okay, some of the gates. This Gateway Plaza enters tapped. Golgari Gate enters tapped. Yeah, this is really good in gates. You need the Amulet Titan in gates. There's such a big downside to gates, and Amulet Titan fixes it. Brody, is my Hill Giant alpha or beta? Where's your Hill Giant? I'll have to take a look at it. I will take a look, and I will comment on the video if you made one. For sure, Z. I like this card, Amulet Titan, a pretty good modern staple. I'd like to open one. I've got one. Nevertheless. Thanks for joining, folks. I appreciate you all for tuning in with me here this morning. You know what time it is. The cops are at the door. They got to shut this stuff down. We can't. I think Mark Roserather called the police. Gavin Verey's in the back with the SWAT car. They're onto us. I'm pretty sure they know we've cracked the code in the system. We know what they're up to. We're picking up these synergistic cards. Just a little bit of a recap here. Like, what an amazing couple of cards we saw here today. I want to say thanks again to the folks at the stock desk. Adam Berg, thank you for bringing us some hits. The Blaze Placer, Brody Clad, Telcor Engineer, Chancellor of the Forge, Azuri's Predation, Phyrexian Swarm Lord, some pretty good pickups, and this Phyrexian Infiltrator. Oh, get yourself one of these. 45 cents. This seems good, and there's good tech around it from Invasion. 45 cents. Why not? It's a good card, and like the shenanigans. If you like shenanigans, look at the smile on this card. It is Yawgmoth's Will incarnate, an efficient machine that replaces inefficient flesh. Sabotavog. Look at this sucker. Get your some. Good morning, folks. I would recommend this card. 45 cents. For sure. For sure, definitely. That's it for me, folks. Appreciate you folks for tuning in this morning. It's been a slice. Time to head to the comment section. Posted on my page. It was a picture close. Oh, okay. I'll check it out. You figure gates should be 5 colors, Murray? All the gates. If you're gonna run them all, you might as well run all the colors, right? Get to read your comments later, Prime. Have a great day, buddy. Look forward to the Prime Tortoise. I might have to catch the replay, but I'll definitely come over and have a hit it up. I gotta hit it up with a vicious thumbs up. I'm gonna give you guys the vicious thumbs up. Podlings, yes, those were the Podlings. The Dark Crystal, that was a cool movie. So Benson's got a Hill Giant. You got to confirm if it's alpha beta. If it's alpha, it'll have round corners. I'll have to look at the corners. If you put it next to a regular Magic card and it fits all the way around, especially in the corners, just pick any new Magic card, put the two together, and if it's the exact same size geometrically all the way around, it's a beta. And if the corners don't line up and they're more round, and you can and then it's an alpha. If you look at the corners and they don't line up with a new Magic card, it's an alpha. The Skeksis. Oh, those Skeksis, coach. Halflings were from the Dark Crystal movie you mentioned. Yes, Halflings. That's what they're called. The Halflings. Yes, thank you. I couldn't remember. And then those other guys are the Skeksis. Yes. That guy definitely looks Skeksis to me. Don't trust him.
That's the Hand of Praetors. He looks like a Skeksis. This guy. Doesn't this look like Skeksis? This looks like the guy that would want to eat a halfling. I don't like him. Prime Tortoise later today. Folks, make sure you check it out. Head on over to Prime 406. Little, very chill Magic the Gathering stream. Michael Superbacker, thanks again for having my back each and every day on the morning show. Can't say thanks enough. Death Priest of Miracle, Death Baron. These are the skeleton lords you folks need to know if you want to play Skeleton Tribal with Skithrix. I need to know who's my commander. Coach. I bought Secret Lair Contagion Engine. Do you think it will be worth about the same as a regular printing? Geez, I want to say personal opinion, just humble opinion, the Secret Lair will always be worth a little less. Unless, let me see, Contagion Engine. Let me look at it. The art on the original one kind of sucks, if you ask me. So let's take a look. Contagion Engine. Secret Lair. Did you get the list one? Is it the foil one? 22 bucks. Do you think it will be worth about the same as the regular printing? Yeah. 30 bucks for the regular. Oh, that's 22 for the regular one. And then the Secret Lair Artist Series. Do you have this Artist Series? The cheapest one, 20 bucks? Yeah. It's the same money. In fact, I like the art on the one you have better. Oh my G, Benson, that's so effing awesome. I loved it when Trevor went to Waffle House after a week, after the game week's back. Alright. Mr. Twiddler is in for $9 on some leeches. Make sure you keep them well fed. Lots of red meat. Morning, Brody Clad. Benson's got coffee and waffles. Morning, Tom Mitchell's in the house. Thanks, buddy. Chancellor of the Spyros, Chancellor of Tangle, all the Chancellors, right? Benson, there's no fooling you. You know all the cards. Chancellor of the Anorak, Chancellor of Dross. We check the leeches for you today. It's 24 bucks. Anger Collection. Yes, a special thank out. If you want to see some really cool art and some awesome Magic cards, check out the Anger channel. We're going to see another bunch of Chancellors. I like the shorts over the Benson channel, I do. I'm gonna have to check this out. I'm gonna check out the Hill Giant. I have an Alpha Hill Giant. I do. I have a B. I have a graded 10 Alpha Hill Giant. I do. I think it's BGS 9.5. I think I have a BGS 9.5 Alpha Hill Giant. I do. Amazing, Bob. Morning gaming, Bob. Have a great day. Things don't feel amazing and special. I hope they get better for you, buddy. All right, that's it for me, folks. I'm heading out. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.